Hello everyone and welcome to the Deeply Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deeply Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 113. Today is Sunday, December 13th, and I am glad you could join me today. It's been 2 weeks, and I was sort of assembling my pile of stuff, which I'm like, oh my gosh. So, have a whole 2 weeks of updates for you guys, so yeah. And it is much later than usual, so no coffee today. So I guess we can start at the beginning. There's so much stuff. Full of shenanigans. Alright. I have a lot of finished objects to show, so we'll start with finished objects today. So I've finished my Alphaba sweater. This is for the Redemption Knit-Along that Karen Around the Twist is hosting. I still need to... I still have some ends to weave in. Apparently I lost interest in that this weekend. But I can put it on to show. Not that the gray shirt is probably what I'd normally be wearing under it, but I can... Alright, so there's like a tottering pile of yarn here. Alright, so it is a Mary Annabella pattern, and I knitted out of Woolmisa Pure in the blue Curacao colorway. And it is a square scoop neck sort of thing. And let me just show off here, like, oh, shorts. So then I ended up doing a modification where I made this lace section longer, and so I think it ends up covering appropriately. And then the lace section here is the normal length, and it fits great. I am happy with how the colors turned out. You would be hard-pressed to find a strange line on this. Well, maybe right there, but eh. So it is finally done. I am thrilled that it is finally done. So it's like a block away from really being done, because since I didn't wash the yarn or whatever, reskin the yarn and wash it, it does have a certain nubbly texture to it, which should go away with blocking. And I had a surprising amount of yarn left over, which probably means that the bodice of the sweater was actually knit in twin and the rest was in pure. I'm taking a guess because I still had all of this. So this is the ball of sadness, the one that I started the first time I knit the sweater. And probably the second time I knit, or sorry, the third time I knit the sweater as well, and I used none of it. But I still have quite a lot of scraps left, so I'll have to weigh and figure out how much I have. But I'm guessing I incorporated a totally different skein in this, but I have to give props to Claudia of Woolmisa for basically making such a high quality product. You can't really tell. I did alternate like a fiend, and that appeared to be the thing that I needed in order to make this work. So glad I persevered, glad I had the sweater. I did make it quite a bit longer, so it's hitting me in a better spot than before, so it'd be the case where it's solid stockinette until it reaches my pants, for lack of a better word. So, woo, awesome. So, really happy that this is finally done. So, there's still quite a bit of end weaving to do, but it won't be the end of the world. And I think it ended up turning out really cute, so. And since this is a figuring weight sweater, I'm assuming it'll actually get quite a lot of wear. Whatever, now that I'm down in the south. The other thing I finished was the long forsaken man socks. I'll just put one of these on a blocker. So this is Jack by Regina Sada, and I knit it out of Diabolical in the I Love Rock and Roll colorway. And it really pulled nice and crazy. This appears to be the first sock, but no worries. So this is the sock. Unfortunately, I'm recording at night, so the lighting doesn't seem to be giving it justice. But we have some wild pooling, nice chitter chatter, which the little pattern ends up catching. And this is sock the second, and I think I already wove in the ends, but I ended up needing about this much more on the second sock in order to finish. But at long last, it is complete. So, yay! So, pair of socks for the Dear Sweet Level 1. I've only been working on those since sometime in September. Oh, silliness. So, I originally won the yarn from Megan of the Stockinette Zombies, and she ended up sending me the emergency 20 grams to finish up. And really, I probably only needed at most 10, but yeah, whatever. So that was really super duper sweet of her. And she also, sent along a little bit of Stockinette Zombie swag. So, we have a little stitch holder thing, a pen with the little, with the stylus tip, and some really cute cards. So I just thought they were really happy. There we go. So, whatever, this was actually the one she wrote on. I have another one which is not written on, so I can send that on at some point. Alright, we're now into finished object number 3. This one also needs some ends woven in, but it's, and a button, but this is among the last of the baby knits, because I really need to send the box. My sister is due in January, and I don't remember when in January, so I'd like to sort of get it into the mail soon. So this is the Aviatrix, which I believe is a pattern by Jessie. It is currently it used to be a free pattern, which is why it's like a super duper popular pattern, but she ended up switching it so that it was $5, because a lot of people were asking her questions, so I guess it wasn't worth her time for that. But it is super duper adorable little baby helmet. Oh my gosh. So this is out of I believe Knitpicks Imagination. It is a alpaca wool nylon blend, and I knit a hat for myself out of this. So I ended up using the leftovers in order to knit a baby hat. So this is the newborn super duper small size, I believe. And I just made the DK weight version of the pattern. And then what I'm working on now is the second Aviatrix hat. So I actually have a needle on there because I'm getting ready to make ear flaps, but and I have a lot of ends on this. But this is the 2 sizes bigger than the smallest size. I weighed my yarn to try to figure out what size I could get away with making, because I wanted to make a little newborny size and then a bigger size for if my niece ended up outgrowing it. So so I'm nearly done with this one. I was hoping to finish off so I could have just the stupid number of finished objects. But it wasn't in the cards today. Ended up taking a nap, so it was lovely. So I finished the strap on this one. I need to make the other part of the ear flap. And I ended up using 2 yarns in this. So this is some of my really, really super old. The bright blue is Neighborhood Fiber Company Watershed, which is a 70% merino, 30% sea cell blend. Who knew? And this was probably my, what was it, my third or fourth pair of socks. And then the main body of the hat and the ear flaps is, what is it? Knitterly Things Vesper, but it's not the stripy Vesper, it is the non-pooling one. So, and I made like some crazy socks out of this as well, but just so pretty. So like these 2 yarns are just meant to be together. When I was originally trying to make the socks, I wanted to combine these two, and I didn't really like how the pattern turned out, so as such, I have way more ends on this one because I ended up using 2 colors of yarn, but I had like 10 grams of this, and you can see this is how much I had left. I wasn't able to do another row. And I do have a decent amount left of the other one. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. So I do have a decent amount of this one. It was like 50 total grams for the blue, and this one was about 40. So it looks like I could have actually gone away with maybe making a bigger hat, maybe, but I think this will be a pretty good size. And hopefully this is more like a 1 year size, maybe? I don't know. It seems pretty big. So it probably doesn't even necessarily need to be thrown in the baby box, but I wanted to show you guys all the stuff I had in it, because I'm probably going to be mailing it out this week, because I don't want to be late. And that actually a good portion of my knitting project lately have been baby box items, so, and I think I need a bigger box. It doesn't appear that everything fits in the baby box, so I have my Joris Dragon, which is super duper cute and lovable. I have, of course, the 2 hats, which are nearly done. I have my baby surprise jacket, which finally has a zipper. I think when I was showing you this 2 weeks ago, it wasn't zippered yet, but there we go. It unzips. Yay! And I think I ended up doing a really good job. Sorry, I was just trying to whacking it in. And this was my backside. You can't see black on black, so I don't even know what I'm showing, but I ended up backstitching the zipper in, which makes for, it ends up, I guess it's a really good way of putting something stretchy, or connecting something stretchy to something which is not. So, yay! Baby surprise jacket. That probably is, whatever, also sort of is a part of that finished object total. I have the Twist and Shout dress, which, this is actually a pretty big size, but hopefully it'll last for a good long time. And this is, whatever, another fun thing. I have the 3rd baby hat, which this is probably a newborn size, and it has little Fair Isle. So something a little bit more traditional with a little funny loop. And the blanket. We can throw the box over there. So I still have to wash this, and I do want to wash it before I take, well, probably, I realize I haven't actually taken a true FO photo of this, so, the baby blanket, so, super duper fun and cool, with the alternating block pattern. So I need to take a picture of this, and then I need to take another picture of it after I wash it, but, that's a just in case sort of thing. If it turns out it's not as pretty after washing, then eh. At least I have captured one image. But it is quite the pile of things I have going into this box. So I need a bigger box. I've realized this, but I ended up posting it on Instagram, and I ended up posting Instagram to Facebook, and so I got a text from my sister today, like, "You're making another hat?" I'm like, "I'm making 2 more hats." And I think I'm done. I was thinking about making another baby surprise jacket, but I'm like, I want to work on other things. But the Aviatrix hats have been a ton of fun. Really, I've been really happy with the pattern, and pretty much you just take whatever in the world's lying around your stash and turn it into a hat. And it's actually spec'd out, it's spec'd out by head circumference, which isn't as helpful for me, because I don't really know how big a baby head is. But they also have how much yarn it takes, and that is helpful, because then I can grab random piles of fingering and decide whether or not I have enough to make something. Because I did have, oh, this is turning into a giant mess. I did have these 2 matching skeins of rainbow yarn, but it turned out that they were maybe only 30 grams, and that was smaller than the smallest size, so I'm like, probably shouldn't use those. So I might be able to make like a normal baby hat with it, but I don't think I can get away with another one of the Aviatrix hats. And I think it looks sort of funny with the rainbow anyways. It would really highlight how it was constructed, let's just put it like that. And I did cast on one more thing this week. I ended up starting the Aeolian Shell. This is an Elizabeth Freeman pattern. It's a free nibby one. And I'm like drowning in charts. So this is Miss Babs Katadyn in the Bear's Whale colorway. And it is still a cute nibby. I haven't actually gone very far in it. I'm still doing the setup chart. But it already is like chock full of beads. I don't know if you guys can even see how chock full of beads this stupid little bit is. So there's beads all along here, and now I'm starting to put beads over here. So it is, and I ended up picking some pretty subtle beads to go with it. So they add a shine, but they really do match the yarn very well. So hopefully it makes it that right amount fancy, because if I was going to go for a contrasting sort of bead, I think it wouldn't be as flexible. So I decided to keep it as neutral as possible, which is a little bit crazy making for rainbow-loving Molly, but this isn't. This is for one of my friends, so she ended up winning it in the company auction, so I'm like, ah! There was no yarn, which was the right color. Whatever. The short answer is Brenda does not have the same color taste as me. So it's silver, it's gorgeous, it's going to be fun. It just isn't going to be the normal Molly vivid that you guys are used to seeing. And what this probably means is after I finish the second Aviatrix hat is I'm going to be casting on another sweater, because as we know, the Winter is Coming sweater cal is still going on. And I probably, once more, photos and totally forgot again. But I have 2 finished sweaters for the cal right now, so I'm excited about that. I think that's all I had to say about that. So the cal ends on the 31st of December. So I'm not sure if I've worked on this in the last 2 weeks, but I'll take it out anyways. This is my spinning project right now. It is Hello Yarn Falkland in the pigment colorway, which I started at SSK and is currently my longest lingering project. So I still have a bit more to go on this ball, and I have this more left to spin out of the 4 ounces I started with. And this purpley part is just part of it. I think I got a really solid amount of the, what is it? I ended up getting a lot of yardage out of the yellow part, and there is more purple than yellow. So this is actually going to be some pretty fine stuff when I'm done. But I don't have anything on my wheel right now, so check my temperature, what's up. But, not sure why. I think, what is it? Like, I have a certain amount of spinning indecisiveness right now, so I believe it's the case where after Christmas, Spin the Bin starts, which will be, what, 12 days from now? So, as a result, I've sort of been wanting to hold off on starting something new because I could pretty soon have it be counting for something. So I think that's why it's slow. Right now. And the other thing is I do have all of this hand spun that I'm planning on starting a sweater with, so we're talking, what is it? I still haven't finished doing all of my plotting with this, but pretty soon I think I will be winding a bunch of balls and starting to go to town. So this is my chocolate chitlin fleece that's all ready to go, ready for the prime time, and now that I got my alfalfa sweater off the needles, I can start my mulled cider. So, so what is it? I have 17 skeins. Sounds like a fun winding party, actually. So I'll figure out my yardage and maybe pick one that's sort of middle of the road and do like a gauge swatch and figure out where I stand. I'm guessing the sweater actually go pretty fast because it is Aran to bulky, and the thought process would be that it would be sort of a coat replacement sort of thing. It wouldn't necessarily be me wandering around. It wouldn't be an indoor sweater. It's more outerwear. That's what I mean to say. So, and even in Texas, you need outerwear. So, so that is coming. It's probably coming soon. There might be some like, thinking about it, I'd probably want to actually start it tonight. I'm gonna have like training for 2 solid days, and the Aeolian Shell is just gonna be way too complicated. Like, since it's a free pattern, it doesn't really matter if I show all of the charts, but like your ridiculous numbers of pieces of paper, and this is printed on both sides, and like, did I need all of the pieces of paper? Maybe not. Normally I just cut out those pictures and that sort of thing. But for the most part, every single piece of paper is necessary, and you're just sort of juggling them all around. And it will not be subtle to knit. But the sweater might be subtle to knit. So, we'll see. Alright, we have made it to stash positions. Now, I don't know if I showed you guys the Baird's whale. Maybe I did. I don't know. I ended up getting the Miss Babs for Brenda, so let me pull this out of the black bags. So I ended up picking up 2 skeins of wool mix lace, in some very different colorways than usual for me. So I got this super duper bright red, so this is the Boosie colorway. Boosie? and gorgeous, ridiculous red. And the other one I got is Meilenstein. So it is a purpley gray with some good semi-solidness to it. The Boosie is pretty solid. And I don't know, I think the funny thing about getting a Stainable Mica Lace is it is a sweater quantity. So we'll see what I end up deciding to do with it, but it had been a while since I'd gotten lace, and I decided to get some colorways that were outside of my normal color family. But what had me on the website was that Claudia was having a Nobody is Perfect sale, and so I got these skeins for $14 a piece. Like, I'm pretty happy when I get them for $25, but so, I got two. This one under the tag is Peggy, and it is an awful lot of 70s colors. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan. Like, could it be entirely fetching? Sure. But whatever. And it's marked as F, so there was a failure in the dyeing. Something didn't quite turn out right. So, I don't know if it's the case where over here you can see there's an awful lot of red mixed in with the green, so I'm wondering if that's what went down. But, for $14, hard to complain. I'll probably end up doing this as a part of a swap later. The other one I got, which I really do like, is, this is Hoochie Mama, and I forgot what the K meant in terms of its imperfection. But, it is bright teal and pink and black and super duper neon and bright. So, really happy about this one, sort of meh on the Peggy, but what can you do? For how cheap it was, hard to complain. So, and whatever, I'm trying to exercise good Ziploc bag discipline, so, let's see. I'm trying to think about what else I wanted to talk to you guys about. So I should be able to record on the 20th. No problems there. And it should be okay, I believe, for the 27th as well, which covers most of December. We'll figure out, what is it? It'd be the case where I'd probably have to record while my in-laws are here, but I feel a lot better about recording at home than recording away from home, so it should be fine there as well. And maybe I'll end up recording on a slightly different day. Who knows? I'm pretty flexible. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else. So, the rest of December will be normal. I guess I only missed 1 week, so that's fine. That's not too bad in the grand scheme of things. Considering for a while there I was recording every other week. It shouldn't be too shabby. I was looking into the possibility of moving to iTunes. So it'd be the case where the trouble is that the version of Windows Movie Maker that is on my computer does not make .m4a video files. But the dear sweet little one recently got a new computer, and his version does. So this means that I might be able to convert my videos on his computer, and it is actually a workstation, so it should actually be really fast. And then I can start the process of actually putting it up on iTunes. And it looks like that's going to be the best option out of the options. Yeah. So I'm looking into it. It will take some time. I would need to reconvert all of my videos. So this would be quite the endeavor, but I do believe it's probably worth it in the long run. I know a lot of people have started to migrate to YouTube to watch video podcasts and that sort of thing, but I sort of, it's at the point right now where I'm sort of like thinking about like, okay, how can I expand my audience? An easy way to do that is to be on iTunes. So I'm looking into it, and maybe when I have some free time over the holidays, I can start converting and getting things going. So looking forward to that. So I think that's everything I wanted to say. So recording again on the 20th, and don't forget about the sweater cow. And I look forward to talking to you guys next week. So take care, guys. Bye-bye.